Hey folks, welcome back to my channel. Jasmine is with you again and another video why I am marrying a Dane, or specifically why I am marrying Thomas. Thomas is Danish, I'm Egyptian. I have been living in Sweden for 9 years. This year it will be 10. I have been married to an Egyptian before where I have my son, and I have been marrying a Swede where I have my other son, and now I am with Thomas. The reasons why I choose Thomas. I am a plus size girl, and this is something we need to get it off the list from the start, especially for plus size girls, curvy girls, thick girls, these gorgeous, amazing girls. I have never ever felt insecure with my body or my shape, ever. I am extremely grateful of how I look. I never felt inferior because of my looks. I never felt discriminated because of my look or my shape or my size. I will say I'm a very active person. I exercise all the time, and I am active as a person. I'm very active. Yes, I have no problem to be sleeping for 3 days straight, but I am a very active person. If I choose to be walking or having the bus, I will have the bus. If I will be choosing to have the lift or the staircase, I will go for the staircase. If I will choose to be pushing something in a cart or carrying it myself, I will carry it myself to strengthen my muscle. So I am an active person, and I will be doing another episode about how you can be a plus size thick woman and you are still very healthy, or you are not struggling with any obesity diseases. By the way, I am not a fat acceptance activist at all. For me, this is bullshit. I'm a plus size woman. When I choose a man to be with, he is someone who is into thick women. He is into full figured women. He into curvy women. So I feel it's really stupid when we are curvy and we are trying to impose ourselves in people who do not like curvy women, who want us to put effort to lose weight or to fit into certain size chart or to be fitting in their own preference. If you are a plus size woman, you have to be having someone who has the preference of a plus size woman. We have to get this clear from the beginning. Every man I dated before, they were into curvy women. So I never have to put an effort to convince a man to accept how I look, or to try to convince him or to persuade him that curvy women is more interesting or sexier or better looking than a thin or straight size woman. I don't have to do this, because we need to remember a man who is not into curvy women, he will always be nagging about your size, about your shape, about how you carry yourself. I will say I know how to carry myself very well. I'm lucky that I have pear shape and I am well distributed. The fats are well distributed. So I would say I'm lucky with this, and I know how to dress. I will claim that I know how to dress according to my shape. If you are a woman who is full figured, to have a man who loves the idea of this cellulite, of these curves. Otherwise, he will be killing your confidence, killing your self-acceptance, and he will always let you feel that you are threatened, that he will always be looking to another woman who is fitting his preferences. Choose a man who is into your looks. Men are visual. Never try to be persuading a man to change his preference. Maybe he would be a man who, I have been with men who were always into straight size women. When they met me, they found, oh, this is interesting. We never actually thought about it. Well, this is something we should be considered. This is something else. But I'm talking now about women who's now trying to date. We want to be always saying curvy women is not the cup of tea of everyone. And also remember that you should never put yourself in a competition with other women to be fitting the expectations of a society. If you choose to be a straight size woman, good for you. If you choose to be a curvy woman, good for you, but you need to do extra effort to be maintaining a good health. So he is a man who is into curvy women all the time. This was always his preferences. It's the first thing that struck him, how the woman is looking like. And I have no problem. These are men. I know how men think, and I do not need to say, oh, they are animals. Oh, they are superficial. Oh, they're so visual. So what? They are like this. Is there a biological configuration? Why do I need to fight it or I challenge it? They are like this. This was number one. Number two, he is with ADHD. He is diagnosed with ADHD, and I love it. I love it because you never expect what he will do. He is extremely flexible. He is very creative. He is an artist. He is a storyteller and an artist. You feel, because he's very also visual person, he is a visual person because of his career. He always appreciates how you look, what you are wearing, the color coordination. You do not need at all to ask him, do you think I look different today? Can't you see anything different? No. If you have threaded your eyebrows, he'll tell you, you have threaded your eyebrows. If you waxed your upper lips, he'll tell you, oh, did you wax your upper lip? He is so much into details, but this goes, although he's with ADHD and he's diagnosed clinically with it, but he is so much into details because of his career. So why I would prefer, and I will always choose a person with ADHD, because he's all over the place. He doesn't care about anything that can be bothering lots of other men. He is just a lively person. I would say that I'm tidy and neat and like things. I'm not OCD or anything, but I like things to be tidy and neat and in place, and I like everything to have a home, and I like things to be organized around me. He is absolutely not like this, but it's okay with me. Why? Because I can fix this. I can do this. It's fine. He is a person who is very volatile, and why I love this, because also I'm very volatile. I'm not person into ta like this. His flexibility with my lifestyle and my children is a privilege, because he is not like a robotic person. He is not Scandinavian in this sense, because Scandinavian is like ta. He is not into this ta at all. So this ADHD thing of his for me is a privilege, because also he's active. When a person with ADHD is active, he wants to be outdoors, he wants to be doing things. He is always into something. He is 1 hour he's thinking about something, and the other hour he's thinking about the absolute opposite. So you could be living the 4 seasons with him in one day, and actually I do not mind. I'm never bored with him, and the best thing, his ability to adapt. He is so much adaptable. So this makes things for me easier when I'm dealing with him. This is one of his strengths, his ADHD. Why I chose to be with the Dane called Thomas, because of his career, the artistic thing in him. I have never been with an artistic person, and I always wanted to be with an artistic. He have published lots of children book, and he did lots of artwork. He's more into cartoonish art, and it is lovely. He's very good in storytelling. Any boring story, he can just turn it to very exciting action movie. Why I chose to be with Thomas, so this is going to be my 4th reasons. He is very talented person with women. He knows how to talk to women. He knows how to spoil you. He knows how to indulge you. He knows very well how to deal with a woman. I never had ever to tell him, what do I want from him? What do I expect him to do? Or, oh, I thought you would have done this, but you failed me. I expected more of you in this. Or, oh, I wanted you to do this or that in this situation or occasion. I never had to do this. His mother had the most popular, biggest school in dancing. It was called Annalisa School. His mother was a dancer, and she had the most popular school. He was always in her studio. Maybe this also influenced him, because he was always around women. And also the thing that I will always say, this will be my 5th reason, his relationship with his mother. He loved his mother, and his mother loved him so much. He had very good, secure relationship. One thing he will always say about his mother, who is still living, we just celebrated her 87th birthday, she never judged him. She loved him unconditionally. She took him everywhere with her, to take different shows, different theaters, different movies, different activities. She always had him with her. And I believe this secure relationship with his mother turned him to be who he is. The 6th reason why I chose a Dane whose name is Thomas is that he wants you to be happy. He wants you to be feeling all the time okay. He's always checking in you, how you think, how you feel, how you are. He takes a very good care of me, and he's so present. He's very present person. My seventh reason why I chose a Dane called Thomas, because I'm a person who absolutely embrace her femininity, and I love fashion, I love clothing, I love home clothes, I love lingerie, I love colors, I love accessories. For me, finally I found a man who will say, no, we are together now, what are you going to be wearing, what kind of piece you are going to be wearing. He has his own preferences in what you wear, and I love this domineering thoughts of his that no, you will be wearing this, you will be wearing that. I love it, I want it, I choose a man who is like this, a person who dictates what he wants, but in such a lovely way, in such a romantic way, in such a sensual way, in such an attractive way. So I know very well that I couldn't just be wearing a tent and going to bed with him. No. I know that I will always have to be putting an effort in looking good. And at the end of the day, I'm looking good for myself. And because when I feel so good in myself, it reflects in me. It reflects in how I'm walking. It reflects how I'm talking. It reflects in how I'm posing, in everything. And when you have a man like this, you will always feel young, because you are not going ever to get so relaxed or comfortable and just whatever. No, I don't want a man to tell me whatever. I want a man who appreciates lingerie, who appreciates home clothes, or who appreciates nice pieces, who is picky, who is selective, who will be going with you in lingerie shops and tell you, oh, I want to be with you when you are trying this and that. I want to be selecting with you these pieces. For him, this is exactly as if he's going to a football match. If he was an English person who is into football or rugby or whatever, if Thomas was English and there is a match, a football match, and I told him, would you skip it? And for example, he was so much into football, and would we go lingerie shopping? You say, yeah, definitely lingerie shopping. I can be watching the match later on YouTube. I want a man who will always choose to be with me, shopping if I want, especially in something delicate like this. And the eighth reason why I am with a Dane man called Thomas, he always check in with me to say, do you feel good and sexy and sensual in what you are wearing? Do you feel female inside you when you are wearing this? Do you feel empowered when you are wearing that? Do you feel beautiful inside yourself? Do you feel comfortable in what you are putting on your skin? Are you proud of how you are looking in this piece? God, imagine you are with a man who is not just saying, okay, I want you to look this because you will look sexy and then I will have bunga bunga with you and this is what I want. No, not at all. Because I have children and I'm of course very careful about what I will be wearing in front of my children. This is never when the children are around. You will dress like this, then I will have bunga bunga with you and then I go to sleep. No, exactly like women need foreplay, he wants also to be foreplayed, and his foreplay is the visual. You can be wearing it for an hour or two before heading to bed. This is the foreplay. He needs to build up. He needs to have his senses constructed inside him to reach to this point in bed. And this is the kind of man I want to have. This was my eighth reason. My ninth reason, he's such a responsible person and caring person, and he loves my children. This is very important for me. If you are a woman who have been married twice, have two boys, 16 and 6, you need someone who will be accepting your children in your life and that he will not be complaining about it. And he's always thinking what to do for my children. He's always putting them in the plan. He's always putting them in the bigger scheme. What we will do with the children in this and that. He always say, your children will be my children. By the way, he has already children, but they are older, 22 and 18. And they are not living with him anymore. They have flown out the nest. So the thing when you feel secure that you have a man that choose to have your children with you and raise them up with you, of course, I will always be flattered, happy, feeling confident, feeling secure to be around him. And number 10, he can cook. He is very good cook. In no time, create for you the most delicious, lovely meal. He loves cooking. And he is into music and everything. So he creates such a vibe when he's cooking. And he enjoys doing it. So when he's cooking, he is cooking with love. The 11th reason, he is a full function man. What does it mean? He is an alpha. I can never be with any man except if I was an alpha. I'm a lioness, I'm Egyptian, I'm Jasmine. 3 things combined. You can imagine. I'm like a dynamite. I need an alpha man. He knows how to be an alpha man. He knows how to be a masculine. He embraces himself, his qualities, his differences, his flaws, his strengths so much. He is such an alpha man. And I want to have a man who believes man is man, women with women who are not equal. We are only equal in our rights, or we are only equal in our entitlements to the equal pay and equal positions. He knows the difference between a man and a woman. He knows what he should be as a man, what he should be doing as a man, and give me the space to be a woman. Reason number 12, why I am with a Dane that happens to be a guy, a wonderful guy called Thomas, is that he's so nerdy. I have never been with a person. You can ask him about any comic book. I never got a comic book and never read a comic book, but I bought my first comic book with him 2 months ago, which I didn't read yet, but I will. And of course, he has different editions of it. He knows every single kind of movies, every kind of music. He is so nerdy. I love watching movies, but I'm not nerdy. I love reading, but I'm not nerdy. But he is like music.com. I can call him thomasmusic.com, thomascomic.com, thomasmovies.com. He knows everything. And he is into vinyls so much, and Blu-rays. He had every movie in Blu-ray. You never get bored. He knows all kind of animation movies. Reason number 30. Why I chose to be with a Dane called Thomas. His voice. I'm sorry, but for me, I could never be with a man with soft voice. He has such a deep, loving, coarse, hoarse, whatever you call it, voice. I'm so much particular with voice. Reason 14 why I chose to be with a Dane called Thomas, because I feel safe with him and I know that I will be okay growing up with him. We are 12 years age gap. He knows very well when to be your lover, when to be your friend, and when to be your brother, and when to be your father. And this is very important for me. He has this fatherly side of him, this protective father side of him, this containing feelings he can give you, and it's very exceptional. That's why for me, I always will opt for an older man. But we have to stress, and this is, I will do a video about it, one of the things why we should be with older men, but I will say something briefly about this point. There is big difference. Older men from different cultures, from different backgrounds, from different ethnicities, it's big difference. And I would say Scandinavian, at the end of the day, they know how, in a way or another, to deal with women. This is not something we can use it, or we can apply it with all men in all cultures. I think, no, it's different. There are some cultures, maybe men can be better if they were older than you, and some cultures or in some countries, no, it's not the best option. So we cannot say it's like a straightforward reason. That he loves me unconditionally. He really loves me unconditionally. That's it. He just loves me. And when a woman feel that comfortable and that she doesn't have to be fitting a certain criteria or certain expectations, or she have certain deliverables she have to offer to be loved or accepted, this is such an empowering thing. And in return, what will he get back? Love from me, care, faithfulness. He will get everything. Why will I ever think of any other man? Because of course with age difference there will always be the idea, okay, in Scandinavia exotic looks is something very much appreciated. So there is sometimes if you are with an older man, older, who is not that much, for me 55 is not that he's an old man, but again for him we are 12 years older, that there is this idea or threat that I would be interested in another man, but oh God, he is irreplaceable. I will say this, and this is like I will wrap the video with it. Choose a man that anytime you walk in the street or you watch a movie, you heard a story from a friend telling you anything lovely, amazing, or gorgeous about how they are having it, like a friend who is telling you a story about her and her boyfriend or partner or fiancé, or you walk on the street and you find nice couple doing things, or watching a movie and you find that this hot, sexy, sensual. Any of these situations happen, you feel, I really